For some of us, it's a real hassle if the internet doesn't work. But imagine electricity is also out. Tonight I'm connected with Orest again from Lviv in Ukraine. You had more problems than we usually have in the West with a few internet outages. You were really sitting in the dark. First of all, good evening. Good to see you again.
Hello, Joe. Nice to see you.
So what is your situation? Today is Tuesday, the 11th of October. We heard on the news for the last 2 days you had air raids also in Lviv, where you live, plus in several Ukrainian cities. How much did this affect you personally and the people around you?
So it was really a horrible time yesterday and today morning. So about 15 rockets were sent to city Lviv, where I'm from, and it means that we hadn't power for the whole day, because all power stations, almost all power stations in Lviv were destroyed. Generally, during one day, Russia sent 86 rockets to Ukraine, and also some drones, about 30 drones, you know, and it didn't affect me in ways, in some bad way. I just hadn't electricity, and it was problem with water, but generally there were not any human victims in Lviv. But if we speak about Ukraine, so I know that 15 or 16 people were killed and about 80 were injured because of this rocket attack of Russia.
You are also the president of the Ox Community Network, so you have many communities all over, mainly Western Ukraine. Did you hear reports from the other communities, especially those in Kiev?
Generally, the situation is as I described you already. So people were not injured from these communities, but of course, it caused a lot of problems. First of all, because of atmosphere of fear around. So you know, if you know that many rockets are coming to your city, so it's a horrible feeling. But thanks to God, no one from our communities were not injured or killed, thanks to God.
Even being without electricity and having to hide in a bomb shelter, that really sounds terrible to me. Where are people hiding, or what kind of places of refuge do you have when the air raids are on?
So we use different shelters, undergrounds, some places, rooms which have not any windows. It depends on the situation where you are. So you try to find the place as low as possible and without any windows. We saw the reaction of Ukrainian people. I'm very proud of Ukrainians, because maybe you saw through news that when people were in underground, they were not scared as Putin wanted us to be scared. People instead sang songs and tried to help each other. So it was wonderful to see how people, some of them were praying, some of them were singing Ukrainian songs. So it's really great to see how God helps us to stand against their enemy. And you know, the first reaction of Ukrainians was not fear. During the first hour of the Russian attack, Ukrainians sent donations for about 40 million hryvnias. It's like 1 million euros. only to one foundation, charitable foundation, to help our army. So you know what it means. It shows our nature. So we are not scared, we are not afraid, but it helped us to stand more close to each other and to help our army even more. So, but I just want to demonstrate you one thing. It just came to my mind. So, if you want to understand what it means to live in the situation of war, so my wife decided to order such badge with information about my family, name, blood information, and contacts numbers. So, and I'm wearing it always with me, because in case of injuring, it will help me to survive, because it will help to be helped as quickly as possible. So this is symbol what it means to live in the country of war. I never before had this, so never. It's something strange for me even, and something new, but yeah, I think it's really wise, it's necessary to have during this time.
We always knew that you Ukrainians are a defiant people. You're also pious people wearing your crosses and also speaking about God. We had several talks in the last few months. You sometimes mentioned that this is also a great opportunity for evangelism, that people are more open to the gospel and to hear the word of salvation than they were before. Can you add anything new?
Yes, it's true. And we see that even during the war, many people are really open to come for our meetings, evangelization meetings, our leadership schools, our School of Holy Spirit. So I'm really surprised, because I thought that because of the war, no one would like to meet, to come to evangelistic events, but instead I see that many people are interested to come. So it's amazing. People are looking for God, and we have really in a few weeks we start new evangelization course. So, and we hope many people come. I hope more than 100 will come. I would say that 2 weeks ago we began a junior evangelization course, Junior Ruach. It's like Alpha course, but it's in our Greek Catholic Church. And so about 50 young people came. I mean, it's from 11 to 15 age, from 11 to 15, and about 30 were online. So it's totally, we have 80 very young people who came. Before the war, we on such events we had about 20, maximum 30 young people. Now it's about 80. So you can understand what it means.
This is really interesting to hear. We also heard the reports of your youth camps. Gavin Farley was one of the participants and speakers, and he also shared about the openness. And what he mentioned especially is that some of the young people are now already becoming leaders. They were leading small groups, they were taking initiative. So certainly it seems that spiritual life is doing well in Ukraine under those circumstances. Well, Orest, you know that we're praying a lot and everybody's praying for peace in Ukraine, but I think it's more than peace and safety that we can pray for, also for spiritual renewal. You also have people working in the military and working in support of the army. How are they doing, especially those from your communities?
Generally, now everything is good with them, so they are fighting. Some of them are very close to the war line or combat line. Some more, it's some distance from, but generally we try to help them, to support them. We have connections, and now everything is good. Yes, it's dangerous, of course, but situation now is really good, for Ukraine on the combat zone, because we got new weapon from Western countries, and I would like to say that we need more, of course. And I think it's only one way to stop Putin. There are no other ways, I think, because Russia is a terroristic country. It's its nature, unfortunately. So, and Putin understands only the language of weapon. And now the situation is good for our people, but of course we need you continue to pray, because of course it's not a safety place, war zone. I hope you understand.
Yeah, we asked for donations in the past, and a lot of money has poured in. Is there more money needed to especially supply people in need? You had an extensive aid network going on. How about that?
Yes, the winter is coming, and we are preparing a list of goods. Winter time is really hard because it needs much more than you need during summertime.
Is there anything you can say about the situation of people in the now again recaptured regions? Kherson, for example, Kharkiv, there are vast areas that are now again under Ukrainian control, but I can imagine the situation there must be terrible. How are people doing? Are you sending any aid there too?
Yes, generally the situation on this on this land is not so good because of absence of power and problems with water. And you know, when our soldiers came to this land, they saw many atrocities, many people who were killed in horrific way, a lot of places where many people were put together, killed people, I mean. So, but our government tried to rebuild, reconstruct the cities, and in many places we have great success. So many villages can return to their common life, but some of them it's not possible because almost 80 or 90% of buildings were destroyed by Russian artillery. So, and in this way, these people are asked to evacuate, and we are ready to accept them in the western part of Ukraine, because it's not possible to repair so many buildings and civil infrastructure. So our government asked them to evacuate and prepare a place for them in center of Ukraine and western part of Ukraine.
So even if the war ended tomorrow, something we all pray for, hope for, which is probably unrealistic, still there's so much to do and so much need. And so we will also post the account number for donations for Ukraine, especially sent to you. We can guarantee that all this money directly goes to you and goes to the people in need without any additional administration costs and so on. So thank you very much, Orest. Is there something else that you just want to share, or a prayer need that we may not be aware of at this time?
Just everything. I like to thank you for your support, for your being with us, for your standing with us. It's really important. I want to ask you, pray for people to understand how to act in this situation, especially about the leaders of Western countries. So, because we as Ukrainians, we see that leaders of Western countries very often don't understand the reality of Russian, and they don't give us the weapon when we really need it, and it costs many lives. So I hope that God will give them wisdom to act in time. So I pray, I ask you to pray about the wisdom for all leaders of all countries who help Ukrainian.
And of course, there are many other difficult situations, political decisions that have to be made right now. And so let's keep also those who are in government over us in our prayers, because this is more than just a military battle. This is really also a spiritual battle that's fought over the hearts and minds of people. Thank you, Orest, so much. May God bless you and keep you. You and the community, send our greetings to everybody, and may God be with you.